Join Gator great Shane Matthews every weekday as he brings you all you need to know about your Florida Gators, including news, analysis, and opinions with some of the biggest names in sports. Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Or watch us live at 8 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
Good morning. It's a live edition of Matthews in the Morning coming to you from the International Diamond Center Studios, locations across the state of Florida, right there at Celebration Point in the heart of Gator Nation. Go check them out, International Diamond Center. Comfort Temp Heating and Air is your #1 local HVAC company. Go visit them at comforttemp.com. Today's program will have JC. We'll take all your questions, calls, comments, you name it, text. It's a bye week. There's not a whole lot to talk about, so we're going to probably take the rest of the week off. That's what we're supposed to do, right, JC?
Yeah, that's what open means, right? Yeah, open.
Yeah.
If
you've been living under a rock, the Gators have released the duties of Billy Napier as your head coach. Your interim coach is Billy Gonzalez.
Okay.
Now the coaching search, which had already been started, continues, and you won't know anything until the end of the season. But we got a lot to talk about today. Where do you want to start, JC?
Well, I tell you, QB, it's going to be what we have. There are
we have 5 regular season games.
5 regular season games left. So open date this week. Time to try to contemplate what you're going to want out of the rest of this season. But I tell you, I guess what did it for me, QB, was the Arkansas game, the overtime loss at the Swamp in 2023. I think they lost 39-36 to Arkansas. They fell behind 14-0. And to their credit, they came back and made it a game. But so many mistakes being made off the sideline in that game that I can recall. But I won't rehash that. I just remember that's when Johnny C officially jumped off Billy Napier's support wagon. And listen, it's nothing personal. This is a business. It's a results-driven business. The guy had a sub-500 record. Florida has failed to win more than 8 games since 2019. And this is not the standard that you want at the University of Florida. 12 SEC wins in 4 years. That's just not enough. That's not going to cut it. And I think, there was no doubt it was going to happen. The question was when. Now the question is, how does the team respond the rest of this season? Hopefully try to make something out of it. And then who comes in as the new head coach? And it's a lot of moving around that's going to have to happen here. There's a lot of assistant coaches that are going to be looking for things to do as well. And it's a very tumultuous time for a lot of people, and I certainly sympathize for that. But again, they chose this profession; they know what comes with it, and you are very well compensated to perform. And unfortunately, that did not happen for Florida.
Yeah, no question about it. So you got Billy Gonzalez. People want to know my thoughts on that. I like Billy. He's never been in a head coaching position. All he's got to do now is he got a pay raise because he's got to be the interim coach. They give him a bump because he's got to do all the interviews and all that nonsense. Talk to the reporters. He's going to have to talk to, the reporters during a game.
Yeah, he's the head coach.
He's got to do all that. So It'll be new for him.
He'll like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good experience for him. And
yeah,
I mean, he's been here longer than anybody else.
Right.
So.
And he'll land on his feet somewhere as well. And I think, that's the thing about this job. The profession isn't a QB. You were a head coach in the high schools, and you know what the responsibilities are and how transient things can be. But you have to win football games. It can't be any simpler than that.
Yeah, a lot of people are asking about the play on third down when DJ rolled out and took a sack. It's a play that we run quite a bit, and we ran it a bunch in this game with some success. I think Billy was, it was 3rd and 1. If we roll, it's a naked bootleg out of the shotgun, basically.
Oh, yeah.
And they run it a ton.
Yeah.
If it's open and we complete it, nobody's got a problem with it. It was an interesting call because it's 3rd and 1. You could just hand it to Jaden Ball, and
be done with it.
And it doesn't matter. There's no reason to rehash calls anymore.
I wasn't going to do that. Yeah, I wasn't going to do that this morning. I just think that when you look back, you see the same types of things.
But bottom line is, even if we do make that first down, I don't think it would have mattered. I think they were going to get rid of him anyway. I mean, the body of work, it's a lot. 42 and 43, whatever the record is, that just doesn't.
22 and 23.
What did I say? 42 and 43. That's a lot of games.
That's a lot of games. But 22 and 23 is all you need to know. And if that's the standard here at Florida, fine. but they're not paying him to go sub 500. They're paying him to win SEC championships. That's what the standard has to be here. It's been too long, QB. We all know what the.
All right, and there's one last play that I'm going to get to because we've got people text and Gator Man on YouTube, brought by Quality Plums, asked, what about the QB run on 3rd and 7 for halftime to kick a field goal? That was on your quarterback. It was we motion ball out of the backfield to an empty set. We had a check with me, quarterback draw or a pass play. I even mentioned on the broadcast, they're in cover 0, ideal situation. Get the ball out of your hand. You got a chance to make a big play here because they had 6 at the line of scrimmage. So, JC, if you have 5 eligible receivers out, you have 5 linemen, and there's 6 guys at the line of scrimmage, can you run the ball?
Yes.
No.
Why not?
Because you have 5 blockers. They have 6 sitting there.
Okay.
You have 0 chance of running the football. DJ was supposed to throw that ball. Billy even talked to Tate going into half.
I must have missed that.
Yeah, it was a terrible decision on his part. It's a check with me. He made a mistake, but everybody wanted to blame Billy on that. That was all on your quarterback.
Well, yeah. Listen,
it doesn't matter. We're done talking. I just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah.
Matt says Ole Miss fans seem very confident about keeping Lane. What say you? Look, if you understand the Ole Miss fan base, alumni, that's what Ole Miss people. I mean, it doesn't matter where you go to school, right? It's no different. I tell people this all the time. Coaches always say they're happy and they got a good job, but then they haul ass. Okay. Let's use our greatest coach of all time, the greatest Gator of all time. Did anybody think he was going to haul ass to the National Football League?
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, folks who knew him knew that he was getting kind of tired of the Foley administration.
Okay, but my point is, JC, this happens all the time. And the people that sit here want to tell you, did you see the documentary? Lane's family and his brother's family at the dinner table. Well, folks, there are these things called houses that you can buy wherever you move, and you can have a dinner table at that house.
Well,
I think people, and again, God bless Ole Miss, God bless their fans, because JC, you know how they are.
I do.
You know a lot of them.
I do. A lot of them.
But they're nervous as hell, and they have every right to be nervous.
Yeah, they do.
And for them, here's what I wanted to bring up today too.
Okay.
Because I get all these people texting me, why would Lane come to Florida? The Ole Miss program is way better than the Florida program. Okay. If we're talking about in the last 10 years or since Lane, you know why Ole Miss is better than the Florida program? Because freaking Lane Kiffin's the coach. Right? Am I wrong on that?
No,
Okay.
You're not wrong.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, as soon as he leaves, they're not as good a program as they were.
Right.
These arguments are so freaking stupid.
Don't get all worked up.
I'm not. I just think it's hilarious. Florida's living in the past. Well, yes, everybody lives in the past. You want to get back to your winning ways, but to sit here and tell me that the Ole Miss football program and the Florida program are equivalent, like I'm talking about the big body of work. There's no comparison.
Well,
the reason they're better right now is because of the freaking coach.
And they've won more games.
Correct. Because of the coach.
Yeah. The coach is usually the guy that gets the credit for that. Just
right.
like these
but they don't. People don't see it that way, though. Maybe I'm in the minority.
Well, listen, for Florida to get back to that elite status, you're right. You got to have a guy that everybody's on board with that's winning games. And
so JC, the other argument people always talk about, well, what's his record against top 25 opponents? I'm talking about coaches in general. When you talk about, okay, I did some research, JC.
Oh, really?
How many coaches coaching in the Southeastern Conference right now do you think have a over 500 winning record against top 25 schools?
Oh, gosh. I mean,
there's 16 of them.
I'd say 8.
2.
Wow.
Kalen DeBoer. Now he's only got 18 to 19
and Kirby
games.
Smart.
And Kirby Smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move to another conference.
Okay.
Let's go to the mighty Big Ten.
The mighty Big Ten.
How many coaches in that conference you think have winning records against top 25 opponents?
1.
3.
Lincoln
Riley. Dan Lanning is 10-6. That's not a whole lot of. sample size, and
And then
Ryan Day
Ryan.
is 24-9.
Right,
Okay.
Ryan Day. Yeah, I
All right,
forget
let's
about
move
that.
on to the mighty ACC.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know how many people they got in their conference now, but how many you think got a winning record against top 25 teams?
Who?
That'd be one, Dabo Swinney. Okay.
And they want him out of there so fast right
Yeah.
now.
Let's go to the Big 12.
Okay.
The Big 12 ain't got any. Okay. So the people that talk about, well, what's this record against top 10 and top 20? The only people that have good records are the ones that are established that have won multiple national titles sitting at their freaking school. All right. So that was my two things I wanted to talk about today.
Man, do you feel rewarded for doing all that research now?
No, all I did was Google it. It took me 1 minute.
Iceman goes, JC, no one wants to hear what you've been trying to defend him for the longest time. I didn't know I was doing that. Here's Ember. I jumped off the wagon 2 years ago. Quote, easy to say now, JC. Well, I'm trying to tell you what I feel after he gets fired. I mean, you already know how I felt before he got fired. So, after and then I'm the master of revisionist history, according to David. Listen, all I'm trying to tell you guys is that we can finally put an end to this tragedy. The story is over now. We can turn that page and shut the damn book and throw it in the recycle bin. That's all.
Yeah. So speaking of that, Chris says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel Law, Lane is Mullen 2.0, flashy offense, questionable defense, and still has never won anything.
Well,
okay. I just gave you stats, buddy.
Well,
the people that have won anything are Dabo Swinney, Ryan Day,
but
Kirby Smart.
But we're not talking about those three guys. You're talking about
that is the point I'm trying to make.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you one thing, Chris. It would be a home freaking run.
I know that's who you're talking to when you go to the big shots. That's who they ask you. What should we do? Who should we have? And that's what you say. And there's nothing wrong with that. That you have to say somebody. And so that's who you've chosen. And I see nothing wrong with it. That guy knows what he's doing on the sidelines. He knows how to get the players here. And yeah, it's been tough when they go up against Georgia, even though they beat them last year. And, they lost to Florida last year, but they've done very well at Mississippi. And if you like the way he coaches, then that's your guy. There's nothing wrong with saying
that's what I like.
That's right.
I like what I see.
That's right.
The key.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Some guys would rather have a different type of coach, a Kurt Ferentz who would literally put you to sleep, or somebody like James.
Would you like for me to tell you what his record is against?
No, it's okay. And then there's James Franklin, the kind of guy that can get really great players and rally around his team and never win a big game. You wouldn't be happy with him either. Then there's Lincoln Riley, who hasn't figured out how to stop anybody still. They lost by 10 to Notre Dame. The poor people that had plus 9.5 are big losers. And, he's having a hard time trying to figure out how to win in the Big Ten. So it is a heartless, well, it's kind of like a thankless job unless you really do something special. And last year they were down this close, QB, to running Ryan freaking Day out of Columbus, Ohio, because he couldn't beat one team. Well, he does have a win against that team, but it's been bad the last 4 years. But guess what he did? He won a national title. My goodness. Yeah. So, it's going to take a couple months. I think we'll find out soon by the end of the year. And that's when they need to have somebody in place, because that's when we get into the important times of year for off the field activity.
All right, real quick, we get some text here on the Titan More text. And this is Russ in South Carolina. It says, Russ writes, no state income tax in Florida, Lane. I think Mississippi just passed that, didn't they, JC?
Well, they do, but it doesn't go into effect. But it's not a big income tax, and it's nothing that $9 million guy is going to worry about. But I do understand the point, and I think that's a good point. Economics always has a place in these discussions, but Florida's a great place. Tennessee's a great place to coach. Even Washington State, you don't have state income taxes. Arizona. So, there's just a couple of them in the country. There's not many, believe it or not. So Florida is a highly sought-after destination. And I think with Lane Kiffin, it would definitely be – look, he went to Boca Raton to coach FAU.
But he's still got a house down there too. So.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's a lot closer from here than he would be from Oxford. But
people are asking me about Jeff Brom. People, if they've listened to this program since we've had this program, they know that I love Jeff Brom.
You do?
He's one of my top three
play callers.
Lane, Sark, and Jeff Brom. When you look at these coaches that are at their alma maters, that's an issue. It's like people talk about Brent Key.
Yeah,
I firmly don't believe why Brent Key would ever leave Georgia Tech. I don't believe why Jeff Brom would leave his alma mater. He grew up in Louisville, went to high school in Louisville.
He's not.
coaches his alma mater. I
Yeah.
just don't see it. I think he's a phenomenal. I've always loved him.
Yeah.
I just don't see it.
I don't either. I don't either.
This is text on the Titan Mar text line from Chris and Mike. Shane, lots of Lane chatter nationally. How long before Lane starts trolling our fans about speculation? I would say his lack of trolling us will almost ensure he's coming here. Look, Lane's going to do that. He still does it a little bit. Look, in the state of Mississippi, I meant to mention this the other day. I totally forgot. You can only sign 4-year contracts, nothing any longer than that. They're going to try to offer him something in the next few weeks.
Oh, yeah.
What's signated? He ain't going to sign it. I really don't believe he will sign it.
Okay. Okay.
I think he will wait till the end of the year.
See where they're at.
Well, yeah. I mean, they got a big game against Oklahoma. Look, if people want to look into it, they can look at the transcripts from his press conference yesterday with the media. He said it's flattering, blah blah blah, that his name's being mentioned with all these jobs, but they still have a job at hand. Exactly right. He needs to do what he has to do for the Ole Miss Rebels until their season ends.
That's exactly right, and that's what's going to happen. And I don't. He's being paid very well to do his job there, and he's going to do it. And we'll see where Ole Miss ends up. I really felt like they had Georgia Saturday, but the Dogs are a team that they just
find ways to win.
It's so hard to kill them. I don't know why Alabama's had so much success, but Georgia is a team that does not quit. They're a team that you trust. You have they're just the opposite of the Atlanta Falcons. You don't trust them because of who coaches them, how they play, what their record is, all this. But when you look at Georgia, that's a team you can trust because you know that it's going to take everything to try to beat that team. And it's hard to do. This is I tell you, this is a thankless job. Although I think when things are good, it couldn't be a better job. But when things are bad, it can't be a better job either because look at these payouts. We're hearing about Mike Norvell in Tallahassee now. The team is uninspired. Can you believe that after the first weekend of the season? Losing to Stanford now, Tommy Castellanos gets blown up in the fourth quarter there on a late hit. It's just a sad story.
The word is they're going to fire Norvell today.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, isn't it?
Electronics World Integration Design Specialist for Smart Home Automation and Entertainment. It's Gator season, y'all. Let Electronics World bring the Florida Gators for college football and the NFL to your living room.
Here's a happy
electronicsworld.com.
Here's a happy story. We all know and remember Chris Mortensen from ESPN.
Oh, that's a great story.
Well, his son Alex was given the opportunity to coach a team that had basically, you could say, has given up on the season. UAB, one of the statistically worst teams in history, not just this season, under Trent Dilfer, who they excused. They go ahead and beat the number 22 ranked team in the country as a 21.5-point underdog. And they get his first win in his first game as a head coach. His name is Alex Mortensen. Who says coaching doesn't matter, bro? It absolutely matters. My God. I mean, think about that. That's incredible. And I was thrilled for UAB in that little program in Birmingham. That was a cool day. How about, since we're talking about Mississippi, since COVID, in 2021, they were 10-3. In 2022, 8-5, 11-2, 10-3, and now 6-1. So they don't want him going anywhere. And it's not going to be up to them. It's going to be up to him.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. There was one on here I wanted to read. I can't find it now. Somebody wants to know about Alex Golish. I don't see that happening.
I don't want to coach from a group of 5 school. I want to coach from a Power 5 school that everybody knows about that's won a lot of games. Is that asking too much, QB?
And people keep talking about money. Look, money's not an issue. Money is not an issue. I'll leave it at that.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be.
No, it should not be at all. We got so many freaking texts and stuff, JC. I'm just going to pick a few here.
Well, just pick a few and just rattle through it. We got till 9 o'clock.
We do. All right. This is from TJ on the Titan Mar text line. First and foremost, go Gators. If we want to win 9 to 10 games, 2 out of every 3 years, yes, Lane may be the guy. But if we want to win championships, he will never win one. How can you say that? He's been at 2 big programs and they ran him out of town. That was when Lane was a young coach. He's 50 years old now. I don't understand. Maybe it's because I grew up an Ole Miss guy, JC. And I went to those games. What he has done at Ole Miss is one of the most incredible things I've ever seen in sports.
QB, yeah, I don't think folks know enough about it, but he's 45 and well, their record since 2021 season is 45-14. You know, I mean, come on.
At Ole Miss. Like
Yeah.
he's not at Tennessee. He's not at Tennessee. He's not at USC.
Not at Alabama.
Yeah, he's at Ole freaking Miss. Y'all don't understand it. Y'all, I just, it's a phenomenal job what he's done.
Y'all don't understand it.
You don't, dude. I grew up going to those games until I was a senior in high school every Saturday.
Listen, you know, it just takes a little commitment from both sides of the aisle, from the fan base, from the administration, and the coach will just do his job, and hopefully you'll get good things. Clark Lee at Vanderbilt, nobody was ripping the covers off the bed for him. He comes
He's
in here.
He's a former player too. He ain't going anywhere.
Look at that! Look at that arena they played in. You know, the stadium has been refurbished. I was calling for them to be kicked out of the SEC because they weren't committed to football. Well, they are now, and they started spending money in the right places instead of sticking it in their endowment. And here it is. You got a home field advantage for Vanderbilt. They're over here beating up teams like LSU at home. A good coach and a good quarterback, QB. Isn't that it? That's it, right? Good quarterback.
Yeah, that's your coach. Most coaches that get fired go down with their QB.
Yeah.
Gator Ray says here on YouTube, brought to you by Kawhi Plum, Slaughter's hug of Billy at the end of the game let us know it was the end.
Oh, yeah, he knew.
I don't know him personally, obviously, but it's clear that he cared deeply for his players and them for him as well.
I think
I'd love to see him succeed at Florida. Yeah, he did all the right things that you want your kid to, you know, he's the kind of coach you want your kid to play for, but we just didn't have enough wins. It's that simple.
Results, that's all. Again, it's business, nothing personal. I'm sure he's a great guy.
So TJ's argument on his about Lane won't win anything is Dan Mullen did the same thing at Mississippi State, and the same thing happened here. I just think
what did he do at Mississippi State? He did great things at Mississippi State.
Right, but he said he came here and he didn't do anything. But I thought he won a bunch of games. If you look at his,
did they go to the SEC championship game?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
And they were one or two plays away from actually beating Alabama in that game.
They were absolutely close enough. Well, yeah. I tell you.
Well, again, like I would tell him, who the hell is better than Lane Kiffin to be our coach? Again, if you talk about this, what has he won? There's three coaches. One's at Clemson, one's at Georgia, and one's at Ohio State.
Well,
you
here
I any of them.
He won a national championship as an offensive coordinator. Does that count at all? I mean, we want an offensive guy, right? That's who we're looking for. So that takes half the field out of play, right? And if you're asking the JC QB committee, search committee, we don't want a defensive guy, so we're taking half the field out. We want an offensive guy. Oh, what's he done? Okay, here's what he's done. He has won a national championship as an offensive coordinator. He turned a quarterback that never played, named Blake Sims, into the school's leading passer. How about that?
Well, JC, let me ask you this too. The one national title.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the last like 10 or 15 national championship teams, the one Alabama team won it with Jake Coker.
Right.
And Lane was the coordinator. I believe.
I believe that to be the case, yes.
Yeah. And Jake Coker was very average.
I think I want to say 2014. But Jake Coker was a fifth-year guy, came out of Florida State.
He was very average.
And he was, but he did enough, and he learned enough. And listen, when Blake Sims becomes your school's all-time leading passer and Kenyon Drake turns into like a Heisman Trophy candidate, the guy knows how to get the ball to the right people. Listen, I just trust him. It comes again down to trust. Do you trust Lane Kiffin on the sideline calling your plays and trying to get you a win, or do you trust somebody else? And, you know, for you and I, it's Lane Kiffin. Maybe for some other people, it's someone else. But we're going to find out and Strickland, I guess, is going to be the guy making the decision.
Well, here's the thing. Here's like I've always said, JC.
Again.
I will support whoever the next coach is.
Yeah, sure.
But I will have a serious problem.
Conniption fit.
If the paperwork, the phone calls are not made to Jimmy Sexton.
Oh, well,
we want Lane Kiffin as our next head coach.
Jimmy Sexton.
Then it's in Lane's court, right? The ball's in his court.
Look,
if we don't do that, there's a serious problem.
All you can do is ask, you know. But if you don't ask,
you hear what I'm saying? There's a serious problem if that does not happen.
Okay, so define the problem to me.
The problem is that we aren't serious about winning football games.
Okay, that's a bigger issue, and I follow you.
Yes. Somebody wants me to.
It's all or nothing with this guy for the QB.
No. The ball will be in Lane's court. Then he has to decide.
I
But
get
if
it.
we're not smart enough to offer the best guy for the job, that's where I have a problem.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Understood. That's who the boosters want.
Yeah.
It's
So
public. It's
so
public.
DRM says Kerwin won a national championship and league champ. Kerwin's won everywhere he's been. Kerwin's one of my closest friends. I talk to him once a week.
I
I would
love
love
Curl.
for him to be our coach. It ain't going to happen. I don't know why. But here's what I would say: if we can't get Lane, we need to take Kerwin.
Sure.
But
Absolutely.
that's not going to happen. We can sit here and beat our heads against the wall. It ain't going to happen.
I know.
Chris from Cottondale on the Titan Mar text line says, I agree, Shane. Ole Miss isn't the same place as Florida. People are ignorant. The reason they are better is because of Lane. If Lane is with the Gators, we are substantially better than Ole Miss. Very well said.
Play, and a lot of folks want to know why not James Franklin. He's ready to work.
I I don't dislike James Franklin, but why not try to get the best guy for the job?
Well, I mean, it's an opinion thing, right? Best guy for the jobs. Who's making
Well,
that call?
I'm going by what I've done my entire life, JC,
Yeah.
which is play football, right? I started at age 5. I retired at 36. I continue to watch football and do things. My eyes tell me, my brain tells me he is the best guy for our job. Now, some search damn committee may not agree with me, but I don't care.
Right. Well,
Because a lot of people in the search committee don't know X's and O's. They worry about all the nonsense that does not win football games.
well, so is Strickland making this call, or will it be?
I don't know. We're not. I mean, there's no reason to talk about it because we're not going to hire a coach until the season's over anyway.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Here's Clint. Spurrier or Meyer didn't win a title until UF. Well, actually, Spurrier did win the ACC. He
Yeah.
wanted.
And
He
Urban
wanted.
won Urban whatever conference Utah was in.
Yeah, it was like the WAC or something. But they did have the backing of. I mean, Urban Meyer was brought in by a guy named Bernie Matchin, and he was the president at Utah, who just so happened to be the president then at Florida, and he brought Urban Meyer with him. That's where Urban Meyer came from. Don't believe any other story. Just believe that. Steve Spurrier won a conference at Duke, which was unthought of, unfathomable. And when he was here at Florida in his first couple of years, he kept referencing Duke. He even talked about some of his players at Duke because he loved that team, because that team won him a championship and got him on the map as a head coach. And he'll always love Duke. So, these coaches, it's a small, little, tiny world. And how are they feeling in Baton Rouge right now? How are they feeling in Baton Rouge?
I firmly believe this, JC.
He's
that
so
I think in the Southeastern Conference, by the time the season's over, you're going to have an opening at Auburn. Obviously, Florida is open, and I think LSU is going to come open.
Wow, LSU. I mean,
I really believe that.
That buyout is massive.
And you got to remember, Arkansas is open. So I think when at the end of the season, we're going to have 4 SEC teams that are looking for a coach, and I think Eli Drinkwitz is going to end up at Auburn.
And I think Rhett Lashley could end up at Arkansas.
He could.
So that takes 2 guys off the list right there. So when you whittle it down, you come back to the same guy we've been talking about since the beginning of this hour. When you think about all of the other potential candidates, we've already taken out James Franklin. We've taken out Eli Drinkowitz. We've taken out Rhett Lashley. Okay, those are 3 names that we've heard of.
Well, why do we take them out? Because they went to another school?
Well, no, I've got Lashley at Arkansas. You've got Edwards, Drinkwitz at Auburn, and now James Franklin. We discussed him. So, okay, there's 3 off our list, the JCQB list. Our list has 1 name. So basically, that's our guy.
Well, I think you do everything you can to.
I think Kentucky could cut them open as well.
I didn't even think about Kentucky. They're so irrelevant in my mind because I don't think even I don't know who Kentucky should go back and hire like a Mike Leach guy. You know, they were fun to watch when Hal Mummy and them were there. It just made them different. All right, so Gator Man on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, says, Shane, your opinion on this: if we land Kiffin, will Lagway be our QB, or does he prefer another type? My personal opinion is that he would bring his own quarterbacks in. I do not think DJ fits his system very well. His guys are usually very mechanically sound. They're usually athletic runners, and they compete their tails off. Think of Matt Corral, think of Jackson Dart, think of this kid they got now. I could be wrong. That's just what I feel. So.
Well, if we hear what you go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then Brandon wants to know about John Gruden. There's no way. I tell y'all, I have a better chance, and my name's not even in the hat to be the coach before John Gruden.
There's a lot of jobs going to be open. Can you? I mean, when Norvell gets whacked, if that's what we believe will happen, QB. I can't remember this early in the year. So many potential job openings.
Yeah, I mean, Colorado State whacked their coach.
Yeah, they
UAB
did.
Whacked their coach.
Yeah, they did.
I mean,
There's
it's
a lot of.
I'm telling you, coaching's all you young listeners out there. If you know anything about football, well, you don't have to. Just get started as a GA.
Meet the right people.
Get into coaching.
It's a small business, but man, it can be a very lucrative one. It's incredible what these guys got. That's the thing with Brian Kelly, dude. I think his buyout is somewhere in the $70-80 million. I don't think LSU's in the mood for that. Plus, their AD loves Brian Kelly. He was the guy that hired him. He loved him. Brian Kelly's a weird fit at LSU. Just never see it when he's tried that fake accent and everything else he's doing. It just didn't make sense. They don't have patience at LSU though. I'll tell you that. They don't. They'll run off that boat as fast as they can. If
they will. All right, JC, let's take a quick timeout, come back and get to more of this.
It.
You're watching and listening to PodUp with Matthews in the morning from the International Diamond Center Studios.
Fast,
we'll be right back.
Our premium sponsors are Campus USA Credit Union,
International Diamond Center,
Meldon Law, UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, JF Hayden Craft Liqueurs, Florida Cracker Kitchen, Los Linderos Tequila. Gridiron sponsors are Baker Sporting Goods, Comfort Temp, Electronics World, Florida Victorious, Gallo Car Wash, Miapa Latin Cafe, Peachland Dental, Quality Plumbing, Ruse Ogre State Farm, Silverback Concrete, 84 Lumber, Big Mills Cheesesteak, Celebrate Primary Care, Dowling Sign, Gator Bait Media, Gator Dominoes, Ironwood Golf Course, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, UF Bookstores, Nest and Wow, MG&A Wealth Management. Watch and listen to us live on Facebook and YouTube. Listen to the podcast whenever on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. To become a sponsor, call my man Freddie at 352-284-3733.
Hi there, this is Coach Steve Spurrier, and I want to let you know that by popular demand, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill's delicious brunch is now served in a premium buffet. You have spoken, we have listened, and we're now serving Gainesville's only elevated buffet, complete with an omelet station, ginger sage chicken sausage, shredded short rib, and of course our chicken and waffles. Plus, you can enjoy bottomless mimosas and Bloody Marys. So join us every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 3 for the best brunch in town.
Coach, you know what always impressed me? How you beat Florida State to win the 1996 National Championship.
And I was really impressed with your 06, 08, and 09 Gator teams.
And the way you coached Danny to the Heisman Trophy.
A lot like what you did with Tim Tebow.
You know, you won more SEC championships than you lost home games at the Swamp.
And you had plenty of super games in front of our Gator Nation.
Yeah, there really is something special about the Swamp.
I guess that's why we say about the Swamp, only the Gators get out alive.
To the Swamp and the Gators, with the best beverage served at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, 100% agave, Los Linderos tequila, aged in bourbon barrels for a smoother taste.
I think you mean head beer coach, 1966 lager, a crisp, light, bodied lager for easy drinking.
Nope. Los Linderos tequila, smooth enough to drink neat, bold enough to elevate a cocktail.
1966 lager, enjoyed on game days in the fall or whenever you need a winning cold brew.
Los Linderos tequila.
1966 lager.
Los Linderos.
1966 lager.
Y'all stop bickering.
Okay, you're both wrong anyway. The best thing Spurrier's Gridiron Grill offers are Jerry's famous chocolate chip cookies.
What's up, everyone? I'm Mike Pouncey, and this is my twin brother Marquise Pouncey, and this is Life After Football. Let's go. We are the owners of Tropical Distillery, and JF Hayden's is our liqueur brand. We have 5 different flavors: a mango, a lychee, an espresso, citrus, and key lime pie. We pride ourselves on not only being a Florida-made brand, but also a cocktail solution. With that being said, cheers and go Gators.
Welcome back to the International Diamond Center Studios. Gallo Car Wash is locally owned by UF alum and the only car wash that provides NIL opportunities to the Gator athletes. Locations on Northwest 13th Street, Wilson Road, and coming soon to Jonesville. Go get your car wash, folks, at Gallo Car Wash. We got JC here. We're just discussing what's going on in the world.
Well-
JC, here's a text real quick from Gator Josh from Wamama.
All right.
He says, gentlemen, what about Todd Monken, Joe Brady, and Kiffin coming in to be Florida Gators head coach? Just curious your thoughts. I guess he's meaning if Kiffin doesn't. They're not going to hire somebody that's never been a head coach. Monken's never been a head coach, and neither is Joe Brady. That ain't going to happen.
Well, and we also talked about all these coaches that are coaching their schools, places where they wouldn't leave. Jeff Brom wouldn't leave Louisville. Kenny Dillingham probably wouldn't leave Arizona State. Why isn't, and I've said this for years, QB, I've always said that I want a Florida Gator to be the coach of the Gators. Steve Spurrier was the most popular coach and most successful coach ever, and he was a Florida Gator. Isn't there a roster of former Gators that would ever be thrown into the mix for a job over in Florida? We bring up Kerwin Bell, but
He's the only one.
He's the only one. Okay. Wow, that's amazing to me.
I mean, unless you want to go get Shoddy from the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Why in the hell would he leave the Dallas Cowboys?
No, but
he's doing a good job, by the way.
He's
He
doing
my
a very
coach of the year so far.
I tell you, look at Dak Prescott's numbers. My goodness, he has. You cannot tell me that these quarterbacks don't benefit from a coach. And Brian Schottenheimer has really helped Dak Prescott. You can see it, the confidence where he's throwing the ball now. It's the 14th straight touchdown pass. I just think it's amazing how good these players are when they get around the right guy. And we saw what Jalen Hurts did with Lincoln Riley. It made him a much better quarterback than he ever was at Alabama. You see Tua Tagovailoa going straight to hell with this Antifa guy on the sideline in Miami, who should probably be excused too. It does matter. It really is amazing to me how much better. You look at Mac Jones with Kyle Shanahan. This guy's a starting quarterback in the NFL. They're not even talking about Brock Purdy, who they just gave half the state to in terms of salary. Coaching matters so much. And I just think there's got to be a former Gator. Look at Shane Matthews. Some guy came out of absolutely nowhere because he thought exactly like Steve Spurrier. Danny Werfel couldn't practice worth a lick. Shows up on game day with that game day mentality and has a coach like Steve Spurrier to help him win football games. Dude, I just can't, on and on and on, how important this next hire is going to be to get the right quarterback here. And if it's Lagway, it's Lagway. If it's somebody else, it's somebody else. At this point, I just need somebody to get the ball in the end zone. That's it.
Logan says, all for getting Lane, but Todd Monken was head coach at Southern Miss a while back. Yeah, well, group of 5, we're done with that.
Can't go there. Cannot go there again. No, can't do that. Some guy said, why was Louisville a prerequisite to be a coach at Florida? Okay, well, why was Colorado State a prerequisite to be a head coach?
Who did we hire from Louisville?
I'm sorry, Louisiana. Why was Colorado State?
Well, look. Regardless, Billy was sought after by a lot of SEC
maybe,
schools.
but was he worth $49 million over 7 years? Maybe he was. I guess.
Well, not. Hindsight says no.
No. Jim McElwain was coaching at Colorado State. What the hell was that all about? He was an OC at Alabama and a head coach at Colorado State, and that's going to get you to Florida. Those are bad hires, man. They're not going to win. So I don't know. I think they were bad hires because they didn't finish their contracts. That's the definition of a bad hire to me.
Cliff says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mello, do you think that the rumors around Lane Kiffin and Florida will be a distraction to Ole Miss? No. I think they got a chance to do something the school's never done in a long time. So I think they'll play. They're going to have their hands full against Oklahoma, though.
What is Billy Gonzalez going to do offensively for Florida? What kind of offense are we going to see? What kind of
You're going to see the same thing. Nothing's going to change.
Nothing's
You can't change an offense in a week. Look,
can't do anything different.
People keep asking me what coaches we should hire or keep on the staff. All that. Look,
no, that's not going to happen.
That whoever the new head coach is going to make that decision. Like for example, let's just say it's Lane. I would have a very good feeling Lane's going to bring majority of his staff from Ole Miss.
Well,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's what he does.
Nothing wrong with it.
No.
That's what coaches do.
You get the keys to the car.
I would be surprised if any of the coaches are kept on this staff. But I could be wrong. Like I said, it's about relationships. And people keep bringing up Jed Fish. I love Jed. Jed's been fired a bunch. He's been in 1,000 jobs. I would take Kerwin any day of the week over Jed.
I'd take Kerwin any day of the week over a lot of people. But
I agree. I agree. Kerwin's quarterback right now is a stud.
Yeah,
Freaking stud.
Yeah. Well, yeah, right. And there was a reason why John Napier went to Oklahoma. Somebody there, he is who he liked. And they're going to have a good season for him. Arch Manning went to Texas for a reason. It's because that the head coach. How about that Kentucky-Texas game? Did you happen to watch any of that?
I did saw that. Kentucky should have won the game.
They should have won the game. Just get the ball in the end zone on 2 plays at the half-foot line. Couldn't do it. It's just amazing how there are some teams you trust and some teams you don't. Inconsistency became a problem here at Florida, and that's you couldn't trust them. One day they blow up on Texas. Next day they look like crap. Okay, it's just inconsistency. We got to find some coach that brings some consistency here. You say it's Lane Kiffin, so we'll go with that. Tommy says Jim McElwain did know what he was doing. The organization treated him like he was a third-class coach. Well, the way he treated Will Greer, in my opinion, was his downfall. And he had a good guy there, and a guy that was winning football games for Florida, and he basically just sent him shopping. So I don't know. I'm not a big Jim McElwain guy. He then made up some contrived story. I don't want to relitigate Jim McElwain, but he kind of disappeared when he left Florida, and there was a reason for that. He went to Central Michigan and had a spy on a sideline that coached at Michigan. I mean, all these things, and try to lie about it. The guy wasn't an honest guy. So Jim McElwain was a bad hire, and we've got to avoid bad hires. Connor Stallions, who is that? I don't know who he is. Why is he wearing your crap on the sideline? Why is he on your sideline? How did he get on your sideline? Why is he standing behind your offense coordinator? Never seen him before in my life. Okay, deny. That's okay. Yeah. No problem.
And he's no longer coaching. Andy asked on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellon Law. Shane, do you know what Cade Bell's dream job will be? It would probably. He grew up a Gator. I would say probably Florida, but Kay's got to be a coach at like Southern Miss first. He's still young. He's only 30.
Very young.
He's a very good play caller, though.
He learned from who?
His daddy.
Who'd you learn from?
Orr.
And Kerwin.
So, well, no, Kerwin learned from Orr. Kerwin's older than me, JC.
I know, but you also worked with Kerwin, right? He was your graduate assistant coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So Joseph says on Facebook Live, Billy G might stay. He's been here a while under 4 or 5 different. That's true. But again, it all comes down to it's how coaching works, man. And Ole Miss's wide receivers are pretty damn good. So I don't even know who their wide receiver coach is. Again, we're assuming if it's Lane. We don't know. We can only hope it's Lane.
We know that's who the boosters want. And when the boosters said they're cutting off the money, that's when Strickland had to act. He finally had to act. I don't know if he wanted to, but he did.
Silent wants to know why haven't larger programs giving Kerwin a shot as head coach other than OC at USL? I don't know the answer to that. Sometimes it has to do with the agent. I don't know who Kerwin's agent is now, but Kerwin's won everywhere he's been. The biggest mistake he made was, though, being OC for Charlie Strong.
Okay.
He had better offensive talent at Valdosta than he did with South Florida.
That's right. Charlie had so many opportunities to be a winning head coach. He couldn't be that guy. He wasn't one. We want an offensive-minded coach here at Florida, and we need a big change. That's how we end up here, and that's where we're going to go from here. I think Florida Gators.
Monty says on the Titan More text line, do you think Gonzalez gives Tramel Jones a chance? I doubt it.
Why wouldn't you at this point?
Well, you might as well not play him now because he can redshirt.
Well, there you go. Okay.
And that doesn't mean he's going to be here next year. He could be somewhere else. So a lot of things going to happen. I would say if here's the key players you need to try to keep on the team, JC.
Okay.
I'm going skill wise. I'm not talking about the big guys because nobody really pays attention to those guys.
Okay.
5 on defense.
Mm-hmm.
Ernest Graham or Miles Graham.
Miles Graham.
Miles, Ernest, same person. Dallas Wilson, Vernell Brown III, and Jaden Ball.
Jaden Ball, yeah.
Those are like the key guys that, you got to let them know who probably going to be the coach as the portal starts to open up. That's just my personal opinion on those guys.
New user
They're your
says
best players.
New user says Kerwin Bell needs to be a coach at a Power 5 school before he even sniffs coaching at UF. Well, here's my answer to that. Let's say I don't
He's too old.
But let's say he goes to Kentucky and in 3 years they're playing an SEC championship game. Why wouldn't that be Florida? So maybe he is too old. What is he? He's my age. What's he in his
He's slower 60. He's
wow.
He's about 60 or 61, I think.
Wow, he is. Okay. Well, Kirsten, guy just got $12 million a year, and he's 64 at Indiana. He's going to finish his career there at Indiana. They found their Bear Bryant. We'll see how far they can go. I don't know. I mean, what are they going to say when Indiana loses in the Big Ten championship game? But they're going to be happy to be there, and they've got a great thing going. So good for Indiana. Big Ten championship game is going to be exciting.
I'm going to let you answer this, JC, and then I'm going to answer it. Brandon asked on Facebook Live, brought to you by Melon Law. Do you worry Kiffin seems to forget about defense, or is it like the HBC score lots and let it all work out? Like Ole Miss was very good defensively last year.
Yeah, I don't think he forgets about defense. I just don't think that's his. I mean, he's got a defensive coordinator. His name is Pete Golding. He lets Pete Golding be the defensive coordinator.
I think people forget too. And again, maybe I'm the crazy one here because I grew up an Ole Miss fan.
Yes.
The brand and the athletes are different.
Well, they've got they've had some players there.
They have, but what I'm saying, but think about the body of work, JC. Would you say,
Brown?
Okay, let's do this. Let's do this assignment.
Okay.
How many starters on the Ole Miss defense would start at Alabama or Georgia?
Couple.
Maybe be a backup.
Couple would.
We could throw Texas in there too, and we could throw Oklahoma.
Yeah. Well,
maybe LSU. I don't know how many of their, but what I'm trying to say is they've done a tremendous job bringing in certain players in the portal to fit what they do.
Yeah.
And
I don't think those kids care where it is. They're just talking about people. They just
right.
But they don't care if it's Ole Miss or Texas in a lot of ways.
I think Ole Miss has played times they've played great defense. There's been times that they haven't, but hell, Florida hadn't been very good in defense for about 3 or 4 years as well. So anyway, I don't give a damn who the defensive coordinator is. I don't care if JC was calling the defense. Let's get the right coach in here.
But Donald Green says I am a master debater. I mean, we've been talking about the same damn thing for how long now? I mean, it's okay. I'm a master debater. Thank you very much.
All right, Ghoulie Gone says we can't lose DJ Vernell Brown III and Wilson. I'm telling you, whatever the coach is going to probably bring his own quarterbacks. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah. I mean, if you get hired to go to a new place and become a new coach, you are going to bring what's familiar to you. You're not going to go. And listen, you may want to give a guy a chance somewhere in a minor role somewhere. This dude came in here and hired 200 people to do what over there? I mean, it's just unbelievable to me. And they say how organized he was. Yeah, you weren't organized on the sideline Saturday, my man. And the thing is, that's all that matters, right? The only thing that matters is what happens on Saturday in between those hash marks and those sidelines, bro. That's it. To me, I'm a fan. Just like anyone else, that's all I care about. I'm not sitting about what they do today on Tuesday. Where were they on Thursday? I used to have to worry about that when I was in the media. I don't have to worry about it anymore. I like it better not worrying about it. And frankly, I think Saturday is the report card. And so far, we've been getting the C's and C minuses, and that ain't good enough. Sorry. You're not going to Harvard or wherever with C's and C minuses.
Yeah. Clint Irby says if Kiffin comes, our best players will want to stay and Kiffin will fill holes in the portal. We'll be a contender year one. I agree 1,000% with that. And you got to remember, he may not keep some players here too, because in today's world, you can cut players. In today's world, you can bring 50 players with you.
Yeah. And that was unheard of in the past. And now you can remap everything. You can redo everything. You can change it all within no time at all, relatively speaking, from the past.
B. Nolan says Lane would not start Trinidad Chambliss over DJ. I don't know.
Really? How does he know that? I mean,
I firmly don't believe DJ's a lane type quarterback.
no. And listen, folks, don't cry if you get a new quarterback in here with Lane Kiffin as your new coach.
Yeah,
It's
and
fine.
again,
We're jumping the
assuming
gun,
that.
but this is what you do on podcasting, right? We don't
Exactly.
have anything. Like, I don't have Scott sitting over there in the bedroom brushing his teeth, about to tell me what's going to happen tomorrow.
Well, you would still turn around and tell him to hire the best player for a best coach for the job.
I shouldn't have to tell him that, QB. I shouldn't have to tell him that. He's what's his title? He's the athletic director. He's hired 2 coaches so far in football, 1 in basketball, 2 in football.
I need to give a shout out to Makai Burrow. That was one of the greatest plays I've ever seen in a football game by the big defensive lineman.
Yeah, what a play, what? Right? And what are they talking about Jeff Levy today over there in Starkville? What are they saying about him?
Yeah.
Why'd you throw the ball? You had the damn game won. And by the way, QB, you swear that field goal the kid kicked was good, but
I swear to God it was good. They showed the replay in our booth multiple times, and it was this far inside the upright.
Wow.
Did you not see?
No,
nobody reacted. The fans didn't even react.
I found that to be strange because they only cheered when the guy did this.
Correct.
And I'm thinking,
because it was good.
I guess,
and I guess you can't review that. I don't know.
I guess you can't. But here he is about to win the game, and he drops shaping back, and 2-step, 3-step drop, boom, in pick, done, game over. Putting the ball in the air, you could get in trouble, man. When you know what you're going to do. They weren't going to score a touchdown. They knew they were going to kick a field goal. If you throw a pass that's like a run, then just run it. Okay, he won't fumble. You'll win the game.
Well,
or you'll at least have
that play
chance.
never would have happened. I mean, it's amazing that kid called.
It was a great play for the Gators.
Look, all right, before we get out of here,
it reminded me of that time in South Carolina. I was down here, and Spurrier was the coach, and Florida blocked the field goal when South Carolina was about to win the game against Urban, and Florida won the game because they blocked it. Yeah.
This text says people don't understand that Lane brings more than coaching. The guy has swagger that has been missing from this place for a long time, and the NIL coffers would be full.
I love that tweet.
That's a fact.
That is the best tweet you've had today. Everybody else is just getting personal and everything. That is the best tweet you've had today. Because that really is the truth. You want Florida to get back on the map. You want Florida to be conversation. You want Florida to be a verb. They're going to Florida those guys. Yeah, I just think that's been lost for so long here, and people don't care. And you've got to get the guy in here to change that narrative about your program. He is the guy that does that, not Kenny Dillingham, not some guy. I don't know what's Dabo going to do. How's he doing it?
They're not going to get rid of him there,
right? They're not going to get rid of him. He's done too much there. So the field is kind of narrow to me with all these other openings. QB, it's
going to be interesting. It'll be we got 6 weeks until the regular season ends, and then you got the playoffs. So a lot's going to happen between now and then.
Yeah.
JC, good stuff.
All right, brother. It's a tough day, man.
JC, who you got in the baseball game tonight?
So tonight it's Seattle and Toronto in Game 7 for the right to go to the World Series. It's hard for me to not see Toronto. What they did yesterday was very impressive, but it really just comes down to what starting pitcher pitches better. It really comes down to that. It has nothing to do with where the game's at or any of that other stuff. It's just and the pitching for both those teams, I couldn't name 3 of them, but they're good. So it just comes down to who pitches better tonight. By committee, of course. Now this is the season ender for one of these 2 teams. The other one gets to go get swept by the Dodgers. So. There you go. Yeah, I'll just take Seattle. I'll take Seattle because
where's the game at? Toronto.
The game is in Toronto. It's Game 7 in Toronto. They blew out Seattle last night. And a 3-3 series. You love Game 7s. Game 7s are great. So we're going to give
us a Peachland Dental pick on the 2 Monday night games real quick.
Oh, okay. Monday night, I'm taking Tampa Bay plus the 5.5. I know they're banged up. Detroit's very difficult to beat in Detroit. Something goes on with this Tampa Bay team that's special to me. And Baker Mayfield is your MVP to this point. And then the other game is out west, right? It's a late game with Seattle and let me see.
Texans.
The Texans. I'm going to take Houston in that one. I'm taking both dogs tonight. Give me Seattle. I'm sorry, give me Houston, give me the Bucks. I love this game with the Bucks and Lions. I think it's going to be very entertaining. But I'm going to take the Texans plus 3.5, the Bucks plus 6.5. They may not win the game, but I like those spreads, so I think we're going to have tight games.
All right, good stuff, JC.
All right, brother. you
For
could,
sprains, strains, and minor fractures, UF Health Orthocare makes it convenient for you 7 days a week, and walk-ins are welcome. Go check them out, UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Appreciate everybody chiming in. Time went by fast. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.
all right.